name is Mru Patel. Today I've got with me the infamous Tone Vays, and we are going to have a good, healthy discussion, debate on what happens in this market, from Bitcoins to any cryptocurrencies to blockchain, the good for society, and help educate the people what to look out for, what to listen to, who the bad actors are, and how to help you steer into a good direction for your investments and your future, and where the world is also going. So Tony, I'm sure, will be happy to share some of this. So with no further ado, let's say, Tony, quick intro and what have you.
Hey everyone, my name is Tone Vays. I come from the traditional Wall Street environment and now in the crypto space, and I will just get right to the point. I want everyone to understand why Bitcoin, and I'm specifically talking about Bitcoin, not blockchain, not altcoins, why Bitcoin is so critical to the world and why it should be a part of your financial portfolio. Bitcoin has three key features that allow it to compete today with all the other assets in the world to diversify your portfolio. The first one is the fact that Bitcoin is unconfiscatable. It's the first asset that you have ever owned that you can hide and protect and no one can take it away from you. The second is that it's censorship resistant value transfer. Never before had you been able to transfer something of value without a middleman in between. And the third part is it's hard money. It takes us back to a long time ago when money actually used to retain its value. Satoshi created Bitcoin with a cap of 21 million Bitcoins. That means over time, as long as people find use in the first two things I mentioned, the fact that it's a finite money supply will make it grow in value over time, and that is why it's an important asset and it's completely uncorrelated to anything else in your portfolio.
So Tone, that was a very nice, good, quick, high-level overview. What would you say to the audience where there's a lot of skepticism, a lot of cynicism, what to look out for, the kind of bad actors, and the stories, the personal agendas based on governments, central banks, all these, I call it the so-called cartels of the world, trying to rubbish this movement and saying it will never happen. And we've seen that in this trading and fair that we've been at, where people are debating it from both angles. What's your view on some of this? And I've seen you involved in some of these healthy debates as well.
Yeah, so it's very, very difficult to navigate the crypto space. A lot of people dismiss all of it. We just had Nouriel Roubini on stage, who dismisses everything in the crypto space.
Is in denial, I think.
Now the irony is I actually agree with Nouriel on 99% of the things. He just can't seem to understand Bitcoin. But I agree with him on the rest, and it is difficult to navigate the space because the word blockchain has been misused and abused to no end. To people, an Excel spreadsheet on a Google Doc is usually a better blockchain than what they're actually building, and that becomes insane. Also, so many copycats of Bitcoin creating these fake Bitcoins, these altcoins, these Ethereums, these EOS. None of these technologies actually matter. None of these technologies are stable. None of these technologies are decentralized. They have all the disadvantages of decentralization without any of the advantages because they are just not scalable and they're not as decentralized as they claim to be. They're all false promises. So I don't buy into any of that hype. To me, Bitcoin is actually innovative. That is where the smartest scientists are building the latest features. And there's absolutely nothing that any of these altcoins have actually built that Bitcoin engineers are interested in adapting into Bitcoin, which is actually a stable technology. So look into Bitcoin and try to be very skeptical on everything else you hear about the crypto space.
Yeah, and the important point you see is about scalability and all that. You know, when internet, Java, all these things started, nothing was scalable day one, and nothing was like that. So give it time is what I say. I think more importantly, the issue is about trust.
It is an issue about trust, and I'm very skeptical on the ability to build something decentralized. I actually don't believe it's possible.
Yeah, it's difficult.
No, it's not that I actually believe it's impossible.
Impossible, yeah.
I don't believe anyone can stand and say, I will build a decentralized system, because by you saying that, it implies that it can't be decentralized. Bitcoin is different. This is the reason why, because Satoshi just released the code, worked on it a little bit, and then just disappeared. And the first 2 years of Bitcoin, of it growing in the wild with no value and no direct expectation of value, is what made it decentralized. And I just don't see that being replicated in my lifetime. Maybe something will show up that's so innovative about Bitcoin with another generation or two of knowledge, but I'm not expecting it. And that is why I'm skeptical of everything, all these claims that they're going to build something that I know that they can't do, because there's a reason why the smartest people are staying with Bitcoin and trying to make it scale.
Yeah, absolutely. Tone, if you were, and I know you do a lot of trading, what kind of tips would you give people when they are trading based on a Bitcoin and certain pairs on Bitcoins?
I say that trading in the crypto space is actually very difficult.
It's very difficult.
Sure, you hear of all these people making 1,000x return, but in reality, that's not normal. A lot of these people got lucky, and a lot of these people got very, very wrecked. You just don't hear from them anymore. I still prefer to trade in traditional markets. I find those environments to be a lot more orderly. I find those environments to be regulated, and all I hear from people in crypto, how manipulated the crypto markets are. And my answer to them is, then go be a bus driver and stop trading them. Don't complain about an unregulated, manipulated market because you want to trade in it. Either help make it stable, or go do something else. Either go trade Apple stock, which is a lot more regulated and a lot less manipulated, or get out of the space. Stop blaming manipulation. I just want an even playing field. I want the exchanges to be regulated so that everyone trading on that exchange has an even playing field. But within that even playing field, if some guy comes in with a lot of money and moves your illiquid token, don't complain about it, or don't trade it.
It's a very good point. Very good tip, by the way, for those of you who are thinking of entering into this, okay? Tell me something about your trading schools and this community and the stuff you're doing to help people, especially when they are experienced traders as well. It'd be interesting.
Sure. I teach technical analysis. I'm a believer, in my experience, that the average person just doesn't have the resources to do any fundamental analysis.
Yes.
You just don't. You will never compete with a hedge fund or an investment fund for fundamental analysis. So your only tool is technical analysis. I've done my fundamental in the crypto space, and I came to the conclusion that only Bitcoin is worthy of investment grade, and everything else is the equivalent of a penny stock. It can go up and down, and the company will probably not go anywhere. There is a chance that 1 or 2 or 3 out of these 3,000 altcoins will one day succeed, but I don't know which 3 out of 3,000 it's going to be, so I am going to stay away from that casino. So I teach people the basics of fundamental analysis. For beginners, I teach candlesticks and moving averages and trend lines and chart patterns and oscillators like MACD and RSI. For the more advanced traders, I teach an indicator called TD sequential, or my own slight version of it. Most people have not heard of this indicator. It is pretty exclusive to Wall Street because of a lot of trademarks around the names, and those that didn't have a Bloomberg terminal just never had any access to it. Today, with better tools, the math is public, so you can go and implement the math yourself, and you now have a very powerful indicator that I always thought was one of the most powerful trend indicators to identify tops, bottoms, and continuation of momentum. So I was a big fan of that indicator. I spent a lot of time trading it, and now I introduced it to the crypto space, and I'd say a good 10 to 15% of all the traders in crypto are using this indicator, and I'm the one that introduced it to them. They might have learned it from someone else, but I know I'm the first one in crypto with a following that was talking about it. And so that's what I offered to the more advanced traders. And now I'm starting to get into a little networking events that I try to put together around the world to connect full-time profitable traders with hedge funds and fund of funds and family offices that can leverage those trading strategies. So now I try to connect people within that space to be able to work together and maybe come up with the next great trading strategy.
Absolutely, I can just see the tone analysis happening. That was very interesting, Tone. So, in summary, what you're saying is stick to the stable rules, like Bitcoin, try, test it, what have you. Stick to some very, very good analysis and patterns. Stick to technical. Yeah. Do you see yourself creating your own charting tool, technical, and call it the Tone? Okay. We have the Bollingers and all that in the Wall Street. I mean, you should think about the Tone tool for, it's even got a ring around it, the Tone tool in crypto space, you know? Have you thought about it?
I haven't really spent much time trying to put together my own indicator.
Yeah.
What I did spend a lot of time, even before I got into crypto, was focusing on option spread trading strategies. And I have designed some of my own option spread strategies, but I've never shared them with anyone because that's my competitive advantage in the space. So whenever I start trading again, I will go back to my option spread strategies that are specific to NASDAQ earnings season, and I capitalize, and as an options guy, you will know this, Theta, Vega, and Delta. Those are my three variables that I work with, and my option strategies take advantage of mostly Vega and Theta, and that's what I spend all my time doing. Maybe one day I'll write a book and I'll name one more option spread that people don't even know exists.
No, you should. You should definitely think of doing it. Thank you, buddy. Thanks for being with me. Thank you.